The story begins with the serpent, described as more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. The serpent approaches the woman, Eve, and questions God's command, asking, "Did God really say, 'You must not eat from any tree in the garden'?" Eve corrects him, explaining that they may eat from the fruit of the trees, except for the tree in the middle of the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. She adds that God had warned them not to eat from it or even touch it lest they die. The serpent then contradicts God directly, saying, "You will not certainly die," and suggests that God knows that when they eat of it, their eyes will be opened, and they will be like God, knowing good and evil. The woman sees that the fruit is good for food, pleasing to the eye and desirable for gaining wisdom. She takes some and eats it. She then gives some to her husband Adam, who is with her, and he also eats. Immediately, the eyes of both of them are opened and they realize they are naked. They feel shame and try to cover themselves by sewing fig leaves together to make coverings. Later, they hear the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and they hide from him among the trees. The Lord God calls out to the man, "Where are you?" Adam replies that he heard the sound of God in the garden, and he was afraid because he was naked, so he hid. God asks, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" The man answers by blaming the woman and God. "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." The Lord God then asks the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman answers by blaming the serpent. "The serpent deceived me and I ate." The Lord God then pronounces judgments upon the serpent. It is cursed above all creatures. It must crawl on its belly and eat dust. God declares perpetual enmity between the serpent and the woman, and between its offspring and hers, stating that her offspring will crush its head and it will strike his heel upon the woman, Eve. Her pain in childbearing will be greatly increased, and her desire will be for her husband, who will rule over her. Upon the man, Adam. Because he listened to his wife and ate the forbidden fruit, the ground is cursed. He will have to work hard and in pain to eat from it all the days of his life, producing thorns and thistles. Eventually, he will return to the dust from which he was taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Adam then names his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all the living. In an act of mercy, the Lord God makes garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothes them. Finally, the Lord God observes that the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. To prevent them from eating from the tree of life and living forever in their fallen state, God banishes them from the Garden of Eden. He places cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. Thus the man and the woman are sent out to work the ground from which Adam was taken.